How goes it, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Patterson on Properties. Remember, I do wholesaling within the DMV area, and I do rental properties within the Pennsylvania, Indiana area as well. So, full disclosure on my background in real estate. I'm doing it for a couple of years now. Now, today's subject matter, I will be talking about pros and cons of hiring a property manager. Now, I came across an article the other day about the pros and cons of hiring in Indianapolis property management company, since I obviously do business in that area. I thought that it was interesting because no matter what state or city that you reside in within the United States of America, the rules of engagement are definitely different, but the core values of how you look for a deal with when it comes to dealing with different property management companies should for the most part remain the same. Now, remember that some people do a great job of self-managing your properties, especially if you only have just one property or two properties, or if you reside in the area that your investment properties are in and you do not have a regular 40 hours plus a week job. For a lot of people that are investors, full-time investors, they have their own team of lawyers and contractors and cleaning teams and all that good stuff when it boils down to it, which is good because if you have all of these things and a great special relationship, because that's what real estate's all about, relationships, may save you a lot of time, but depending on the circumstances, it can save you some money all at the same time. Me personally, I do not mind paying a property management company to free up my time, because that is the number one reason why I got into real estate to begin with, so that I can free up my time and not have to work 40 hours a week for anybody. So for me, having a property management company works in my interest. Everybody's different. I'm just talking about what works for me. The article also talked about this, is that how a lot of people are not willing to give away their precious assets to organizations because they're worried about them not caring about their properties the same way that they would themselves. And I definitely get that. I totally understand that, but in my opinion, like I said, my personal opinion, one has to understand most investors like me, I don't have a deep bond with my property. I have a deep bond, and I hope other investors that are like me are the same way. I have a deep bond, deep relationship with my assets, because that's what the properties are. That's how you should treat your property, as an asset, and be a great landlord. Nobody said be a slumlord. Be a great landlord, take care of your property, make sure the people that are residing in your property are living in reasonable conditions that you would live in yourself. But definitely do not try to hold an emotional relationship with them or the property either. Now, get into the cons of actually, hiring a property manager, because with anything in life, there's pros and cons. Whether you own a business, whether you have a job, there's pros and cons, to anything in this life. Because the funny thing is, some people talk about even being the pros and cons of being homeless. One pro is, hey, you don't have to have a job. The con is, you have to sleep outside, and you're more vulnerable, and you catch disease, you can get hurt, you can get arrested, you can get killed. So there's pros and cons to everything in this life. Now, one of the cons are relinquishing control of your property. Arguably, one of the main reasons one may choose to self-manage the property, which I get it, is to retain full control over your property and be the sole decision maker. Totally get that. A lot of landlords, share this sentiment, and most property management companies, from the research I've done and by dealing with multiple property management companies, they get it. Third-party property managers are going to have certain processes in place for managing rental homes, and they likely won't always handle things the same way you would. And I get it. When it comes down to it, nobody's going to take care of your property like you will. That's just a given. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get over a cold. If you want to hire a property manager, you have to be willing to let them do their job. It's just period, Like anybody you ever hire for a job, you gotta let them do their job as long as they're doing it in an efficient manner. That's the only thing that matters. In some cases, that might mean you don't agree with certain decisions or outcomes. But that's an aspect of professional property management that people have to end up accepting, because that's just how it is when you're dealing with another party. Relinquishing control can be very hard for some people because they look at their home as their baby. Remember, if you want to be successful in anything in life, you have to learn to delegate your duties so that other perspectives and talents can be put into action and can help you become more successful, all at the same time. the old saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. Just ensure that when you're dealing with a property management company, that they take your opinions into consideration and don't just try to say it's our way or no way. It's a team effort at the end of the day. One of the main reasons one may choose to self-manage the property is to retain full control over the property. Hey, they want to be the sole decision maker, and I get it, I totally understand it. But, my mindset is always, you got to do what works for you at the end of the day. What works for me might not work for you. And that's cool, because that's why everybody's different. And it makes life that much more complicated, but that much more easier all at the same time. We're all different. We all look at things in a different perspective. But, hey, at the end of the day, we have two main objectives. Take care of the property, collect the rental check so we can get the passive income. We all got the same end game at the end of the day as real estate investors, especially as landlords. Now, let's get into the pros of hiring a property management company. Peace of mind, that's what I got. The main thing that a professional property management company can do and absolutely should provide one with is peace of mind. A good property management company will be equipped with the staff, tools, and processes to handle every little detail of your property, which should make you feel more comfortable with your investment. And I'll give you a great personal example. I invest in the city of Reading, Pennsylvania, right, which is in Berks County, Pennsylvania, close to Allentown, Pennsylvania, close to Philadelphia, all that area, to give you an idea. And one of the things I had to realize that the city of Reading, because it's a quote-unquote city, they do yearly inspections. And it was something of a surprise to me, as even something of a surprise to my buddy who invests up there at the same time. And you have to pay the city to inspect your home, and if certain things don't meet the city's criteria, you got to get those pieces of your property fixed. And my property management company handled that, had no issues. Very, very happy with them. I even give them a shout out, Pagoda Realty Company, very great property management company. They handled it. Items needed to be fixed. They fixed it. It came out of the rent. Didn't come out of my pocket, and I was still able to pay my mortgage. I didn't make as much of a profit. However, I was still able to pay the mortgage, and the issue was resolved. The city was happy, and all the money that I actually had to pay the property management company anyways, that's tax deductible. The money I had to pay the city of Reading, that's tax deductible. So it's like you get where I'm going at it with. With me working a full-time job, I don't need to worry about these things. I need to pay somebody to worry about that. And all that money I pay them is the tax write-off that Uncle Sam will pay me back in 2020. That's the beauty of having like I said, I give a real life example of the beauty of having the right property management company. You want peace of mind. As I said, I give you that, I had to give you my personal story in that aspect. All the time that you would have otherwise spent, because another thing is, if you spend a lot of time trying to market when you have a home that you're trying to rent out, conducting showings, that's another pain in the butt. And some people don't mind doing this, and that's fine. Me, I don't want to. I don't even want to know who my tenants are, as long as they're not crazy people. All I need to know is their names, and they take care of the property, and they pay the rent, and we're all good in the neighborhood. Handling maintenance, calls, issues, all of that can be taken care of by your property management company. Now, if you don't like the estimates that the property management companies bring out, hey, you have another contractor on site. Have options. You're not always going to see eye to eye on everything. I get it. But my mindset is peace of mind is what it's all about for me at the end of the day. And the property management company can provide you with freeing up more of your time, so that you can focus on other properties. Making money, making more deals. Orders. Whatever you need to do, so that you can buy more real estate investments, expand your real estate investment portfolio. That's the beauty of it. What's another thing they bring? Valuable rental marketing insight. Unless you're an experienced licensed real estate agent, market insight is likely something you have to rely on others to provide you with. Property management company will be able to advise you on every aspect of the rental market, including rent rates, seasonality, days on markets, locations, and much more. It's difficult to find reliable information in regards to rental market trends, which makes this an incredibly huge perk to having a property management as a partner. Because at the end of the day, whether you want to believe it or not, it is a partnership. And it is one that you should not take lightly, And I just, keep it real in that aspect. Excuse me, there goes my throat again. No, we're almost done, family. Now, third-party property management companies are going to have certain processes in place for managing rental properties that are likely won't always handle things the same way you would. So if you want to hire a property manager, you have to be willing to let them do their job and put some trust into them, and at least until they blow it. And trust me, there will be times when they will blow it, because no one's perfect and no company definitely isn't perfect. So that's something you definitely want to take into consideration. In some cases that might mean you don't agree with certain decisions or the outcome, but that's just, comes with the territory of having a property management company. For the self-managers, you will not, because there's another pro, if you're a person who's self-managing your property, you want to pay a monthly fee to a management company, or a leasing fee, or a renewal fee to the property management company. However, most property managers will argue that property management companies will actually save most investors money, i.e. they'll lease your home faster than you will, because they have a list of people who are looking to rent properties. They'll save you money on maintenance because, the volume, they'll try to have more discounts in order that they can compete with others, Keep in mind that finding a low-cost property manager may seem like a good compromise, but remember that cheaper isn't always better, and you will likely end up losing more money than you would think in the long run if you don't hire a quality property management company on site. Remember that you always get what you pay for the most part. So a lot of times, even if the shoes look nice and if they're cheap, but after a while they're going to get worn a lot quicker than the ones that cost a little bit more. Am I saying expensive always means better? No, not at all. But do your research. Make sure you see the reviews on, that's the beauty of the internet nowadays. You can look at the reviews. I looked at a bunch of property management companies from here to Indiana to Pennsylvania, and I saw some good reviews, I saw some bad reviews. And of course, they're all going to have bad reviews because you can't make everybody happy. And I saw some that just had nothing, majority of bad reviews, and I was like, I'm not dealing with these people. Because for somebody to go out of their way to really do that a couple of times, yeah, that means a lot. So that's just how I look at it. Do your research, do your homework. Don't never just take somebody's word for it. Property management fees may reduce your profit margin. So if you depend on every single dollar of monthly income, then it can be a definite downside you need to be aware of. Yeah, there's a fee. But I always look at it like this. It's a tax deductible, and it just gives me more time. It frees my time up more so that I can buy more real estate, so that I can become free from having a job. And hopefully you guys found some value in this video. Remember that saying that I use in my Larry's Anything Goes profile. Can't get fired if you own the company. But another thing for the people that think about getting into real estate, we're almost in 2020, and I'm not going to do New Year's resolutions. I'm just going to give New Year's motivations and implementation plans, all that good stuff. Forget the resolutions nonsense. So if you're a person who wants to get into real estate or any other business, and you've been looking at YouTube videos for a long time, or you've been doing a lot of research and all that great stuff, now is the time to execute, because so many people want to get in this business, but they're scared to execute. It's all about the execution right now. New year, new goals to accomplish, execution, family. So anyways, hopefully you guys liked the video. Please give it a like, please share, definitely please subscribe, and hopefully you guys have a great day. And hey, keep chasing your dreams, because I know I'm going to. Take care.